Ducatis sound so entertaining. I've always been a fan of the sound of inline four-cylinder engine and never thought I would get addicted to this twin-cylinder symphony. What we are riding today is the new Ducati Supersport 950S, one of the most sensible motorcycles in Ducati's lineup. I know that sounds a bit of a paradox, a sporty Ducati which is sensible, but that's true in many ways because this is a sports tourer and not a quintessential sport bike like the Panigales. But does that mean there is a compromise in terms of thrill and excitement that Ducati stand for? Stick around till the end of the video to find out. The Supersport might look a bit too compact for its displacement, but its gorgeously crafted bodywork will surely leave you in awe. The Panigale-inspired styling blends aggression and grace so beautifully, it hooks your attention without even trying hard to. The design lines flow so neatly and seamlessly from the sinister headlamp to the swelled tail, you just can't stop gawking at it from all angles. The rear seat count, which adds to its sporty aesthetics, can be easily removed with just an Allen key. The top-notch quality levels, meanwhile, truly complement its handsome design. Right from the robust body panels to precise attention to detail, everything shouts Ducati. The paint finish in particular looks and feels incredibly rich. While the Supersport is a proper sport bike visually, it's a completely different story when it comes to comfort. Now, the moment you get on the motorcycle, you instantly realize that this is not as committed as motorcycles like the Panigale. While you have to crouch a little bit to reach the clip-ons, you don't need to completely lean onto the fuel tank. Even the foot pegs are not so rear set that they put you in a complete squatting position. But the most commendable aspect for me has been the seat in terms of cushioning and space. It's such that even the heftiest or tallest individuals will be seated in utmost comfort. I can clearly see myself touring on this motorcycle all day long without any issues, and I would keep this adjustable windscreen at the higher position to prevent some wind blasts. The star of the show here is truly the 937cc Testa Stretta twin-cylinder engine, which can be found on the Monster and Hypermotard as well, but in different states of tune. On the Supersport, it is engineered to be wild yet manageable. It changes its persona as per the rider's demand. The acceleration is linear yet exhilaratingly quick. It builds power strongly until 6000 rpm while going bonkers beyond that. The 10,000 rpm redline arrives in no time, and you reach some ridiculous speeds before even realizing. Crossing figures like 150 kmph feels like a cakewalk. But do remember that this engine is a bit vibey, especially after crossing 6000 rpm. However, it never felt like a serious issue to me. The difference in character between urban and sport mode is quite noticeable. The former feels perfect for times when you want to ride it lazily through concrete jungle, with the acceleration being quite progressive and linear, whereas things get quite exciting or amplified in sport mode, not just in terms of performance but also acoustics. In typical Ducati fashion, you can configure each of the riding mode independently for traction control, wheelie control and ABS intervention. And the quick shifter, which works like a charm and comes as standard on the S variant, can be turned off in each of the riding modes. While the engine is not outright tractable, getting used to its ways doesn't take much time. It feels lumpy with some knocking when the revs drop below 3000 rpm. However, that's a typical twin-cylinder character. To give you a perspective about its tractability, it can be ridden under 50 kmph in 4th gear with the revs hovering slightly above 3000 rpm. What's particularly impressive though is the clutch, which is quite light for a big bike. Dealing with it is not painful even in heavy traffic. Similarly, the engine doesn't run unbearably hot, with most of the heat being directed away from the rider courtesy of the smartly designed air vents in the fairing. It's only when you get stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic that you feel some heat being blown under your thighs. What adds to the involving nature of the Supersport is the profoundly communicative trellis frame, which uses the engine as the stressed member. Now, this compact and lightweight chassis facilitates the motorcycle with such agility that filtering through gaps in traffic feels as effortless as carving corners. Now the bike is always willing to change directions without feeling twitchy. You can drop it hard into corners and carry some serious lean angles, with the bike abiding by your command with sheer obedience. Further adding to its cornering prowess are these Pirelli Diablo Rosso 3 tires, which don't just deliver commendable grip and feedback in dry, but they also feel quite confidence-inspiring in wet riding conditions. The more skilled and fast riders might find the factory setting of the suspension to be a bit soft for fast cornering, but that can be easily solved by slowing down the compression and rebound damping. Impressively, the S variant of the Supersport comes with top-notch fully adjustable all-in suspension for the front and back. In the factory setting, the setup feels extremely absorbent. It delivers an equally plush ride on undulated highways at high speeds as well as through the nastier stuff at slow speeds. Making the package further likable are the brakes. While the bite from the brake calipers is extremely strong, it is not hard enough to take you aback thanks to the adequate amount of progression. And the electronic aids like ABS and traction control intervene so seamlessly that they always have your back but never hamper your riding experience by feeling obnoxious. Do remember that the Supersport comes with a few inconveniences which are commonplace among sport bikes. First of all, the ground clearance is quite low, so you have to be extremely careful while going over tall and sharp speed bumps. So far, I've gone through the heartache of scraping the underbelly a couple of times, and besides that, the turning radius of the motorcycle is quite large because of the limited lock-to-lock movement for the handlebar. So taking U-turns or in tight spaces or filtering through tight gaps in dense traffic can be an issue at times. I also like the legibility, layout and the interface of the 4.2-inch TFT screen of the Supersport. Although it's a small unit for a bike of this class, everything is easy to read on the move thanks to the smart layout of the information. Moreover, going through the menu and options is easy with the help of an up and down toggle switch and the turn indicator button which doubles up as the select key. There is a plethora of information on offer, way more than what is required on a day-to-day basis. Bluetooth connectivity is available as an option with the Ducati multimedia system which comes as an accessory. It allows you connecting your smartphone to the TFT screen for giving access to music controls and call and message alerts. I'm sure it's clear by now that the Ducati Supersport is an exciting motorcycle while being sensible. It is one of the few motorcycles in Ducati's lineup which can carry out your touring, commuting and racetrack duties equally well. It is fast, handles amazingly well, comes loaded with features and gets some top-notch equipment. All of it while not being outright scary and frantic. Now that might be a downer for some people who really desire the wild and hard to tame behavior that most Ducatis are known for, and they should actually consider bikes like the Panigale V2 or V4. But for someone who wants a good balance of practicality along with fun and gorgeous looks, the Supersport might be right up your alley. Sure, the low ground clearance and the long turning radius bring along some inconveniences at times, but they are not deal breakers. What truly acts as a chink in its armor is the exorbitant price tag. Now the S variant of the Supersport is priced at 19 lakh ex-showroom. That makes it way more expensive than the likes of the Suzuki Hayabusa, which at least in theory is a lot more motorcycle for the money. Also, this is 5.50 lakh more expensive than the Kawasaki Ninja 1100 SX. That said, all Ducatis demand a premium for the special and exotic feeling that they evoke, and the Supersport is no different. If you're willing to pay the high price, you'll never have a dull moment on this motorcycle. That's all for now. If you find this video useful, do like it and share it with your friends and family and whoever you can. And do not forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon if you haven't done all of this already. I'm Anuj, signing off.